Okay, here we are with another Pokemon Draft League game. This is for RQA. I believe this is week 5. And I played this game earlier today, and I felt like it was a really good game, and one that I kind of want to explain my plays on a little bit. So I figured, hey, why not? Let me record and go through my my reasoning for a lot of my moves and why I did what I did, and then you get to see like a really cool game, I think. To start off, actually, I do want to go through the matchup. So I'll first just go by his team. So as you can see, he's got a Sun team. So he's got Screamtail, Gouging Fire, and Walking Wake, all which get the Photosynthesis Sun boost from Torkoal. He also brought Mousehold and Petrarun. Things that he didn't bring were Thundy Eye, Arboliva, which is one of his Terra Captains, Flygon, his other Terra Captain, and then Hisuian Lilligant, which would get Chlorophyll. So that's what he left on the bench. So in terms of my prep, what I brought versus him, we've got Franklin, the Terrapagos, my favorite turtle. I'm running Dual Dance, so I've got Rock Polish, Calm Mind, Earth Power, and Terra Starstorm. You look at his whole team. Earth Power, the Gouge, and the Petrarun, and Terra Starstorm hits everything else. Cloth, I'm Rocky Helmet Regenerator as my main Gouging Fire switch in. I'm running Knockoff, Rock Slide, Stealth Rock. And then last move I'm running Facade, just in case I get burnt by Gouge, then I'm still doing at least a little bit of damage. I'm pretty Fizz Def, but I've got a little bit of attack investment, just so I am doing enough damage to break like subs and stuff on first Gouge. Iron Valiant, I'm bringing Booster Energy with Psychic, Moonblast, Calm Mind. I get the speed boost with my Booster Energy, just in case he was running like Speed Boost Walking Wake. Then I would be able to outspeed that. And my fourth move, I'm running Encore, and you'll see, I feel like that was pretty good into Screamtail, in case that thing is either clicking Calm Mind, Bulk Up, T-Wave, Wish. I can come in after that, and he would probably click one of those moves against me, and I can just Encore him into like Calm Mind repetitively. Okay, then we've got my Galar Slowbro. I'm Trick Room, Nasty Plot with the Life Orb. My 2 attacking moves are Shell Sidearm and Psychic. Again, kind of hits his whole team with the dual stab, barring like a Terra Steel Flygon. So I thought that was pretty free. And Trick Room can be pretty good if he is getting like speed boosts in the sun with his other 2 mons. And this team is generally very fast, so like a Trick Room, I outslow everything and hit pretty hard with Life Orb. And then also I can bring in stuff like Moltres that's slower than most of his things, and Terrapagos afterwards, and still abuse Trick Room there. We've got Felispadef, Gastrodon. I don't have a Walking Wake switch in. Specs, Draco, Might, Oko, Gastrodon if he's modest. I should always live 1, but like if rocks are up, I might just die. I've got Earth Power, Ice Beam, Protect and Recover. Ice Beam's there for stuff that didn't come, like Flygon, Arboliva, the Lilligant as well. And then Rindo Berry as well for that Lilligant that didn't come. So it looks kind of not too helpful here. Maybe if he's running like a random Solar Beam on the Torkoal, the Rindo Berry could help. But that's that. I'm obviously Storm Drain, so Walking Wake can't click Specs Water moves into me, but then I have to play like a 50-50, like does he Draco or Hydro Steam? Because either Draco's killing Gastrodon or Hydro Steam is killing my Iron Valiant. So in the last mon, we're running Moltres. I'm a pretty bulky, but still running like 76 special attack modest on my Moltres. With the sun up, Fire Blast does hit like his whole team pretty hard, and it can kind of break through like Petrarun and the Screamtail, because sun boosted Fire Blasts hurt. And even like fully offensive Walking Wakes don't want to switch into that, even if it quad resists. It's still taking a solid chip. And then I'm Air Slash, U-Turn, and Roost just for some longevity. This was also obviously there for the Lilligant that didn't come, which I was pretty surprised, but this team's still super duper scary. So now going into the actual matchup. First things first, I'm pretty sure Torkoal's going to lead, but I look at his team and rocks are obviously a huge priority. I want to know if anything's banded, if that Torkoal is not heavy duty boots and is heat rock to give him more turns. I want to punish that thing every time it comes in by making it take stealth rock chip. So super duper priority for me is getting stealth rocks up. And I think that's my best lead because I can probably click at turn 1, or I can click knock off and get rid of like a heat rock if he stays in to set his own rocks, or knock off something else that's switching in. So I'm going to go right for that. I'm going to lead with my Cloth, and we're going to see what he leads with. So he leads with Torkoal. Okay, it's a little too slow. Just change the speed on this to slow. Okay, so he leads with Torkoal, I do with Cloth. I'm just going to knock off here because maybe he wants to stay in and get his own hazards up, and I want to get rid of that heat rock. So I go for that. I go for the knockoff as he goes hard Petra run. Again, I'm kind of fine with this. I get to know its item, I get to get rid of that item, I don't have to worry about it later in the game. So he's Colberberry, fine. I don't have like any dark moves on anything else on my team, so that doesn't make much of a difference. At this point, I'm just going to get my rocks up because they're super duper free. Nothing wants to switch in on them, and again, I get to know if things are boots or what. But it does give him a very, very free walking wake switch in. So rocks are up, but walking wake is in, and it's booster special attack. So I know he's not max speed. He's either like max special attack with a little bit lower speed, or he's modest, whatever he is. So I'm going to go Gastrodon just to see. I'm expecting like a Dragon Pulse or Draco, and he does go straight for the Draco. 91%, that is modest specs. So now I know he's modest specs. At this point, I'll pause it here really quick. I know he's locked into Draco. I can go hard Valiant pretty easily. He knows that. He should know that I know that he's specs. So I am expecting him to switch out here. But if he doesn't switch out and he kills me, then that gives me setup opportunity with Valiant or Slowbro or my Terrapidos. I'm already pretty scared. I can't switch into this thing regardless. Like, even though Gastrodon stops it from clicking Hydro Steam freely, I still don't switch into like Dragon Pulses or like anything. So I'm gonna go for an Earth Power, expecting him to either just kill me or go out into like Petra Run, expecting Valiant to come out. And yeah, so I go for that Earth Power as they go hard Mouse Hold. I think, okay, I'll take this chip on Mouse Hold every day of the week. So I go straight for that Earth Power. I get a good 37% off. That's a good chip. I'm just going to go right out into Cloth. I'm Rocky Helmet Cloth, as I said before. Fully expecting him to just tidy up. Actually, wrong thing. I expect him to tidy up, so I'm going to take this chance as an opportunity to recover. Because, like, he's clearly going hard this because he is prioritizing getting rid of rocks. And he wants rocks off the field for Torkoal's longevity. So I'm going to take that as an opportunity to recover. I can easily go Cloth on this thing. It can't touch me in any way ever. So I'm going to go Cloth as he actually Bullet Seeds. He gets 2 here. If he did get 5, I should have still lived, and then I could have just went Moltres the turn after. Didn't know this actually got Bullet Seed. I thought it was like Population Bomb and Bite, and that was it. But Bullet Seed's cool. Moltres walls this all the time. Except Population Bomb still probably kills me. Yeah, it's scary. But he's obviously got to be super scared of the Flame Body Burn, because if that happens at any time, then it doesn't kill me. So at this point, I want to do another just double back. Or do I go for the U-turn? Yeah, I just double back into Cloth. He goes Screamtail. He shows he's Def Photosynthesis. Again, against this Screamtail, I can always just set up my rocks back up. As he goes for a Wish, again, I'm like, cool, I will just get my rocks up. Mouse Hold is again forced to come in at another time and tidy up if he wants to remove them. If he wants to remove the Torkoal, then he's got to take the rocks chip. I'm going to knock, hopefully he stays in and I can get rid of his leftovers on the Screamtail. He doesn't, he goes Petra Run again. But again, at this point, I'm expecting him to parting shot, probably, I think. So I'm just going to stay in and knock one more time, hoping he parting shots into something like Walking Wake. But he doesn't. He goes for a Malignant Chain, gets the poison, and then I unfortunately hit myself in confusion on the first turn. Which again, kind of stinks. It's not too big of a deal. I'm just going to double this time into my Gastrodon, because this thing can't touch Gastrodon. As he actually reveals to have Hex, which is good to know. I got to make sure that I'm not staying in on anything that is poisoned with by Petra. And again, this gives me another free recovery option. Actually, no, I'm gonna say like I do good damage if he does want a Malignant Chain and Toxic me, so I go straight for the Earth Power, trying to predict that. Keep parting shots and Household lives. Again, I'm kind of fine because at this point I'm like, okay, I see my way. It is getting rid of his removal and then making sure hazards stay up. So he's gonna go Mousehold as I go Cloth. This time he does try and predict and goes for Bullet Seed. He's not gonna. But again, right here, I know this is his removal. He's going to stay in and just tidy up, so I'm just going to click Knock Off. That's what he does. He tidies up to get rid of those hazards, and I'm just going to knock it out with a Knock Off. So Mousehold's down, his removal is down, and that's huge for me. He could still have Rapid Spin on Torkoal very well, but this is one was something that didn't take a big chunk coming in. So now I want to see what he goes into. He goes Petron. Again, Hex is like blowing me out of the water because I'm Toxic Poison, so I'm just going to go right into Gastrodon because again, this can't touch me without me being poisoned. Hex is doing pitiful damage, and he does go for that Hex. He doesn't try and predict, which is great, and now this gives me an opportunity to click Recover, which I'll happily take. I want as much health on this thing as I can. As I recover, he switches out into Torkoal. And again, at this point, I look and I say, what switches into an Earth Power? Like, Screamtail could, but if you go Screamtail, then I just go hard out into my Slowbro. So, like, I'll take that. 100% take that. So, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go for an Earth Power, see what he does. And he stays in, which is huge, and I get big chip on the Torkoal. 82% puts it in range of Stealth Rocks on the next turn. We already know he's Heat Rock because it's used the full 7 turns. So these are his last 6 now turns of Sun, assuming I can get Rocks up before it comes back in. Right here, I believe I'm just going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to click Earth Power and force him to make a move. If he's switching out, again, it's wasting another turn of the Weather, which I'm fine with. If he does switch to Screamtail, again, another turn of the Weather gone. And he's only got 5 more turns of Sun. I'm gonna switch out here because I don't want this Screamtail to start like setting up on me potentially, and I don't do any damage back to it. So I go out to Slowbro. He makes a nice double into Walking Wake. So again, at this point, I'm like, okay, he gets to pick one. Am I gonna go Valiant as he predicts and Hydro Steams, and I think it's over at that point, or what's he gonna do? So I'm gonna go into Gastrodon as he does click the Draco button, and that's a good Gastrodon. Yeah, Gastrodon. It's bulky, but it's not Specs, Protosynthesis, Modest, Draco, bulky. So that goes down, but again, I know he's Choice Specs, so this gives me a very, very free Iron Valiant. There's no way he stays in here. He always dies to a Moonblast, so I believe I'm going to make a prediction here and double out into my Cloth as I expect him to go into Petron or the Screamtail on like a Moonblast or something. He does go Screamtail, gets the Spadef boost, and now I've got a very free turn with Cloth to get, take a guess. Yep, to get my Stealth Rocks back up. With the Stealth Rocks back up, Torkoal cannot switch in again, which is super duper great. He does use that turn, knowing I'm clicking Rocks, he uses that turn to get another Walking Wake switch in, which again, super smart by him. There's nothing he can really do at that point. But I'll take that. So Rocks are up, that means Torkoal dies on switch in, but it also means I'm going to have to sack something to a Hydro Steam here because nothing takes it. I don't really like Moltres at this point. It's decent for Gouging Fire, but I don't hit it too hard with Air Slash, and with the sun gone, then my Fire Blast isn't really hitting Petra Run very hard either. So I figured I'll sack it at this point. Rocks are up as well, and I'm Charity Berry, not Boots, so I think it's a good time to sack it. I'm going to bring out Valiant here. I'm going to click Calm Mind, expecting him. Actually, no, I'm going to click Moonblast because I thought he might stay in since I doubled last time. I didn't want to do the same thing again, just in case he was trying to read me. So I was just going to Moonblast, and if he stayed in, great. But he sacks Torkoal, which is a smart play. But again, I'm super duper happy because I don't have to worry about Sun anymore. This time, he's going to go Screamtail, and I'm fully expecting him to click Wish. Actually, I want to explain this play a little bit more. If he goes Torkoal, I click Moonblast, and he dies. A little bit faster. He's going to go Screamtail, and I told you my set. I am Moonblast, Psychic, Calm Mind, and Encore. There's three things the Screamtail might do at this point. He might just damage me, Dazzling Gleam, Psychic Fang, Psychic Psyshock, something like that. He could T-Wave me, which again, maybe. Or he can Wish. Those are the three things I'm expecting. I think I'm making a bet that he clicks Wish, because if I go Slowbro and he clicks Wish, then he can freely go into Walking Wake or Gouging Fire on my Slowbro, because whatever damage I do with like Shell Sidearm, he's healing it right back from the Screamtail's Wish. So I'm pretty sure he's clicking Wish here, so I'm going to go for a Calm Mind myself. So I make that bet, and now I go for a Calm Mind. And what does he do? He goes for that Wish. So I'm super happy at this point because I can Encore him into Wish, and I can just set up all over this thing. So as he is Encored into Wish, I'm going to speed it up again because this is going real slow. If he's going to Wish, I'm going to Encore him to that Wish, and that gives me another free Calm Mind. Petra Run switches in. I already got rid of its item, so I know it's dying to a Psychic. Now he goes back into Screamtail. At +2, I'm doing like 60%-ish, 60 to 70 maybe. I don't know exactly if he's SpDef boosting or if he is just like max HP, max SpDef, and then not a SpDef boosting ability. So I'm thinking he probably lives one here, and I'm pretty sure he's just gonna click T-Wave. So I don't want to sack my Valiant because it does outspeed and kill Walking Wake, so I'm gonna go into my Slowbro on the anticipated T-Wave. Okay, that's fine because this is a very free Shell Sidearm. I get fully parried on turn 1. Stinks, but not much I can do. I'm gonna double into Valiant, expecting him to go into Walking Wake after that Wish. But he actually goes Gouging Fire, which I was a little bit surprised by, but that's fine. I'm gonna go into Cloth as he clicks Heat Crash against me. I'll take that Rocky Helmet chip and just go for a Rock Slide because I don't want him to DD Morning Sun versus me. I get Chip on the Walking Wake, and then I'm forced to sack something. So again, let me show the Trapagos animation. At least at this point, I'm thinking I go Valiant. I have to click Moonblast, even if I Calm Mind. Like, if I go Valiant, he goes Screamtail on the first turn. If I Calm Mind, then I'm doing like 40% with a Moonblast. If I just raw Moonblast, I'm doing like 25 to 30% maybe. So I'm really not getting anything out of that. He can Wish T-Wave me and like stop my Valiant at that point. So I think instead, let me go to my my Terapagos. Now, if he stays in, I'm gonna click Calm Mind. If he stays in, then after a Calm Mind, I can easily tank the first Hydro Steam that breaks my Terra Shell into a second one as I click Rock Polish. Then I'm boosted Special Attack and boosted Speed. If he, on that turn, instead of hitting me with a second Hydro Steam, goes into Screamtail, then I'll just tear a Starstorm at +1 and do about 50 to 60% to the Screamtail. And ideally, I hit that thing twice, and that chips it into range of my Slowbro or my Valiant afterwards, and then I can try and clean up with one of those mods. If he switches out, which don't really need to do, I'll just show you because that's what he does do. If he switches out, then I can just go right back into Slowbro again, and I don't have to worry about the chip on Valiant, the Rocks chip on Valiant. He's clicking Flamethrower here. Actually, let me go back. So he goes for a Wish, which is what I expected, and I'm going to Nasty Plot on the Wish. Now he's got a Wish coming back, but at +2, Shell Sidearm Oko's this thing. It's going to do enough to Gouge to kill and enough to Walking Wake to kill. So that Wish ends up being pointless because something dies here, assuming I don't get fully paired. So I'm going to go for the Shell Sidearm. I don't get paired. He shows, and he goes slower than me there, so his last move was Roar. But that works out super duper well, and I get this Screamtail finally out of the way. Here he goes Walking Wake. At this point, again, I've got to sack something, so I'm just going to sack this Slowbro, which I think is fine. And it gives me a Terrapago switch in. I could have went Valiant here, killed it with Moonblast, and then he goes Gouging Fire. The only issue is that if he's like max HP, I knew he was max attack Adamant, but I didn't know what his HP SPDF defense investment was. So I could have, if he was max HP, max attack Adamant, Moonblast does like 30, or I think it was like 27 to 35% to gouge. So he could DD Morning Sun, and like stall me out potentially with that. While Terrapagos, even at max HP, max attack Adamant, Terra Starstorm's doing like 44% minimum. So he can't stall me out with Gouge as a DD Morning Sunset. So I can just go to Terrapagos here, click Rock Polish as he breaks my Terra Shell. I obviously outspeed on the next turn. I go for the Terra Starstorm and knock it out. He brings in the Gouging Fire, takes Rock's chip. I'm going to go for an Earth Power. He just barely lives. He crashes, not going to kill me though. And he's going to die to an Earth Power. And I get a clean 2-0 win. I was really happy with how I played. I think it was like an intense game. He was undefeated. He was 4-0. I was 3-1 at this point, and I don't know if I liked my matchup. Like, I really didn't have a Walking Wake switch in. Gastronaut's kind of about as good as you can get, I guess, for like a Sun Walking Wake, but I can't switch into Dracos, and Gouging Fire is always a pain. Breaking Screamtail is a pain, but it worked out, and I was really happy with how I played. Me clicking Plot and Shell Sidearm when I did. The doubles with Valiant I thought were really good. Setting up with Turtle when I did was also really good, I feel. And then just prioritizing those Stealth Rocks made Torkoal dying early and just really set me up to win in the late game after Torkoal was gone. And he couldn't get those boots anymore with Gouge, Screamtail, or Walking Wake. So yeah, appreciate you for coming by to watch. I think I don't know if I'll do highlights of my replays for all of my games in this league, but I don't know, this one just felt really good. So I wanted to kind of record and go through my thoughts, and yeah, I'll see you for one of my other league games next then. Peace.